One of the most important things to me about a cruise is the vibe. When it comes to vibe, my absolute favorite restaurant was the Dock. They don't have a large menu. It's more of a tapas, small plates kind of place. But in terms of just scenery, it's all the way at the back of the ship. On port days, it's not crowded at all. Just sit back, drink, and have some delicious food. That I recall, they had 5 hot plates that they make right there. They had octopus, they had steak, chicken, shrimp, and polenta. I didn't try the shrimp because I can't do shellfish.
I had the shrimp. I had multiple shrimp. I really enjoyed the shrimp.
Polenta was good. It was cut similar to how it is at the wake. The steak was delicious. The chicken was delicious. The octopus was cooked almost perfectly.
There are also go plates that you can get from the cold section right before you go onto the outside. The other thing that I enjoyed from the dock house was actually from the bar. We had the sangria, which was really good. We got a picture of that.
It was delicious. It was like, what, $40? We actually took it back to our room and kept it in our refrigerator to last us a couple of days because it was just the two of us. If you've ever been on a cruise, almost every single cruise has some type of buffet on there. Virgin Voyage, before the pandemic, decided to go a different route and have more of a food court, but functionally it's still a buffet. Biggest difference being, instead of going up to, say, the fries and scooping how many fries you want on your plate, someone comes to your table, at least for right now. That could change later on, but someone comes to your table, takes your order, and they bring it to you. The good about this is it's nice to not necessarily have to get up. And in these germ-infested or virus-infested times, it's nice to not have to worry about someone sticking their finger in the spaghetti and putting their germs all in the sauce. On the flip side, however, it needs some work.
Would say that it needs a lot of work.
There were some things that were good, like the ramen. I had the ramen a couple times, and it was pretty good.
He had it for breakfast, which is kind of a plus when I feel like there are a lot of negatives.
But it's a plus and a minus because do I love ramen? Yes, I do. Yes, I do love ramen. But at the same time, I got the ramen because I didn't trust anything else for breakfast.
I don't think it's necessarily you didn't trust. It was plain. Like there wasn't anything exciting.
The biggest tell to me about breakfast food, sorry, we're hopping on breakfast, are hash browns. The hash browns were cold. Or not cold, but just warm. And hash browns are one of those things like they should be hot when you get hash browns. And that wasn't a factor either of the process of placing the order and someone bringing it to you, because one of the mornings I actually was at the counter where they make them. And the guy right there where they make them was like, hey, have you ordered? And I was like, no. He's like, what are you getting? I said, I'm getting breakfast food. So he got me breakfast food. And they were still just like they'd been under a salamander, but they weren't hot. The sandwiches were okay. I did not try the salads, but they did look like they had a really good selection for the salads.
The salads were okay. I had the salads, but I feel like the biggest problem with it all is just the fact that there wasn't that many choices. Like, there's 7 stations, something like that, and each station only had 3, maybe 4 things at each of the stations. And
can I flip this on your head real quick?
Uh-huh.
So I'm sure at some point we're going to show you guys what the menu looks like for the Galley. There's 7 or 8 restaurants in the Galley. The entire menu fits on a single sheet of paper for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Compare that to Pink Agave. And their menu, while it's not as condensed, it still spreads multiple pages. So not only do you not have a ton of different variety in terms of the places. Because I mean, to be fair, if we've done some other cruises since then, and like for instance on the Encore, they just change out the whole menu every day. So you may have had a typical pizza and burger station, but everything else sort of rotated. Here there was some consistency, which is good or bad. But and we've talked about this before, tacos. Everybody loves tacos. If they don't love tacos, I don't even want to talk to you if you don't like tacos. But if you look on the menu, and again we'll show it on the screen, they only have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tacos total.
No, they have 3 tacos total.
You're right, I misread that.
And 2 breakfast burritos.
Yes, and the worst part about it is they aren't, I'll say, flexible tacos. Like, part of the reason why everyone loves tacos is you can always get it your way. You have like a fried avocado, which is literally a few slices of fried avocado with some sauce on it. Super plain. You had, was it El Pastor, which is going to be their pork one. They did have one chicken one. And it was kind of disappointing to me that on a ship that has like, the best steak we got was from a Mexican place. So I find it a shame that they don't just, hey, Pink Agave, let us have a little bit of your steak so we can impress with our tacos. It's not difficult to have steak tacos or have some more variety on the chicken tacos.
But what he's getting to is you can't customize even one of these tacos.
You probably could say, okay, I don't want cilantro on that. But there's taking stuff off. There's not adding stuff. It's not like
a taco bar.
But it's a shame to say this. Taco Bell actually has more variety in their tacos than Virgin Voyages. And that's sort of a disappointment. Because I think I'm speaking for both of us correctly here. We like the idea.
Yeah, we definitely. I think we like the Galley concept. We don't like the fact that there's not more variety. Like it needs more variety. It needs to have more selection and more things. And I think part of the reason why they didn't do that was to be able to get food out faster. But I don't think that they're necessarily going to sacrifice some of that timing by adding a little bit more variety.
They don't have to go out of their way to spend a whole bunch of money to add variety. They have other sources on board.
He's saying that food in other places are much better and they could just spread the wealth.
Maybe at least with the tacos.
One thing I will say on a plus side about the tacos is I really enjoyed the chips and salsa. The Galley is also one of those places where you can pick up those quick bites in those plastic containers that are already made. So like you might have salads. I had a really good like walnut and something.
So one other, we'll call it a hack, if you will, is that those containers can go back to your room. You might want to go ahead and grab a quick salad from the Galley in the in the cold area and just take it to your room and put it in your refrigerator. So there is a limited time frame where they have those cold items out. So yeah, Galley, love the idea. The actual execution is pretty solid right now, but they definitely need to work on the overall selection of food at each stall, as well as the I'll say temperature and overall quality of some of the stuff. The Grounds Club. That's pretty much the de facto coffee shop on board. There's a couple of them. There's one on the 7th floor near the roundabout, and then there's one in the Galley as soon as you come in from the middle of the ship. Do take note, everything does cost money here.
No. All the drinks cost money there.
Fair enough.
The food does not.
Fair enough.
They have cookies there that are included. Some like pastry items.
It was like they had like a jalapeno cheddar croissant.
Yeah. So they do have food that is included. Another thing that you could take back to your room for some late night snacks.
But yeah, the coffee you have to pay for. The staff is extremely friendly.
Hi, Pedro.
Regarding Pedro, he was actually, we were assigned to his station for, what's the check? The safety check, for putting the vest on, blowing the whistle and all that. But even beyond him, other staff that we interacted with, or that I interacted with at the Grounds Club, were all beyond wonderful. Great staff. The coffee's pretty good. Portions are okay, but relative to the price, it's a toss-up. If you really want your coffee, it's a good place to go. Need something cold? Don't want to drink? Don't want alcohol? Want some ice cream? Let me till ice cream. It's the ice cream place on board the Scarlet Lady. When you first board, actually, look to your right and you'll see it. So while everyone's getting in line for the elevators, just make a beeline over there, cool off and relax. They have, I believe it's about 6 flavors ice cream, and then they also have not matching flavors but a plethora of different flavored cones as well that you can pair them with. So you could have the key lime pie and chocolate cone if you want, or I like getting the sea salt? That would go good with like a caramel or a brown butter ice cream.
He named an ice cream after me.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll show you the picture. Daily competitions to get to rename a flavor, and it stays that flavor all day long, actually into the next day until the next competition. So it was definitely a very fun experience. I got to wear a cowbell. Definitely make sure to try it out. It is free. Ice cream is good, and the flavors aren't necessarily what you expect. Could be for better or worse. Can you hear us? This is Big Will and Amber from the future, about 1 year in the future. And we got to go on Virgin Voyage as Scarlet Lady again, and some things have changed. So we've been reviewing some of our content, and we felt that what we had before wouldn't properly represent what Virgin has put forth. So right now we want to talk about the social club again, or part 2. So the main change they did in the social club, it was probably, it ties to one of our biggest concerns, which were the hours. We did back-to-back sailings again, and it felt like this time the social club was open way more. They've also added some more amenities. They have, before they had, I think, like 1 air hockey table, 1 foosball table. Now they've got 2 of each. They do some more activities in there, but we're not here about talk about the activities. We're here to talk about the food. And this time we actually got to try the food. So last time we did partake in some of the snacks, the pralines and marshmallow disgustingness, whatever it is, that did not taste good at all. This time, and we also got to do the pretzel and cheese. This time, however, we got to try all the hot dogs. They have a Reuben hot dog, a vegan hot dog, and a Philly cheesesteak hot dog. We got to try the wings, as well as the floats that they have. Now, my first comment is going to be on the floats, because that's actually the first thing I believe we got. Could be because of staffing, but the person who handles making those shakes actually was working at the Loose Cannon. So you would go up front and say, hey, I want to get a shake. They'd give you this weird look like, what are you talking about? And then someone would realize, oh, he wants to shake from over there. You need to talk to the Loose Cannon. So then you head on over to the Loose Cannon, where the bartender will promptly tell you, I have no clue what you're talking about. And then eventually a lady will pop up and she'll realize, oh no, he wants a shake. That's something that I do. And then she'll run on over and she'll go ahead and make you a shake. We had 2 different shakes while we were on board. We had the one with Red Bull in it. And do you remember what the second one was?
We didn't have 2 shakes.
Yeah, we did.
We never had the second one. We never got it. Because what I was about to say was that there are times when the food part is open, but the shake part is not open, because the shake part seems to be manned by a bartender from the Loose Cannon. So if the bar is not open, then there is no one to actually make your drink for the float.
She's right. That's just the whole time travel thing just messed with me a little bit. So we did only have it one time. We were trying to get it a second time.
Yeah.
So in terms of the food that was there, they also had the popcorn. I did mention that in the previous video that you guys did not see. So they have popcorn, pretzels, cheese for the pretzels, the 3 hot dogs, wings, sauced and unsauced.
I definitely, if you do not like hot food, do not get the sauced wings because the sauce is very, very spicy.
It's spicy.
And it's like a more of a chili spice than like a hot sauce spice.
It tastes good.
Yes, it tastes good. I got them sauced every time I got them, but I do know that some people don't like hot food, and it definitely is spicy.
And one more thing about the wings, they'll say it's 3 wings, but it's actually both sections of the wings, so you're actually still getting 6 wings.
Yes.
So are they the largest wings? No, but you can get more if you need them. So, but yeah, no, they've greatly improved the social club actually from a year ago. We'll talk more about those improvements in a future video. But we did want to go ahead and correct some of our conversations that we previously had about the social club.
Just another couple things that we had already said that I think are worth noting here in our future video is that the social club has candy. That was a big hit. I think there's gummy bears, Twizzlers, and there's one other thing that I can't think of off the top of my head.
I think it was taffy.
Yeah, that is saltwater taffy. Exactly right. And then they also have the stand that has the marshmallow thing that we didn't like. But I noticed that they had brittles that we did enjoy.
Fruit.
There's fresh fruit there as well. And then they change out occasionally. Like there was a praline marshmallow, but then there was like a fruity Rice Krispie treat type thing. So it constantly, you should kind of go by and just see if anything has changed out during your voyage, because
Cake pops
did change out during ours.
And they did have cake pops too. So definitely an enjoyable place. On our 3rd and 4th cruise, actually, it was an extremely active area. So when you see that activity going on, they're probably open, and it's worth stopping by, see what they got going on, get a small snack, decent place to stop if you're getting a little hungry and dinner's not for another hour or so.
Alright, so if you're hungry late at night, there's very few places for you to actually get food, but the pizza place is one of them. The pizza place has 5 different made-to-order pizzas. I actually combined 2 of the pizzas together. I did the pretty fly for a white pie, and I added truffle oil to it. I actually really enjoyed my pizza, and it was very, very hot to the point where it burned my mouth. The other thing that I wanted to kind of talk about the pizza place, other than the fact that they have those pizzas kind of late into the night, I think it's till 1 o'clock, is the fact that they also have a cold section there. They have, I believe, just salads there, but there are also beers there. So you can, if you're a beer drinker, pick up your beers from there, and again, late into the night.
I had the white truffle and egg because I like eggs, especially runny eggs. It was aight. The egg wasn't seasoned or anything. I don't want to be too picky, but eggs without salt and can miss me. I was on my experience at the pizza place. It felt like, even though it's supposed to be open till 1, it felt like anytime we went, it was closed. Did it open like really late?
I don't know.
Okay. But it felt like it was closed half the time. It's also not in a location that you're just going to walk by and want a pizza. To go through Lick Me Till I Scream, so leave the roundabout on the 7th floor, go through Lick Me Till I Scream, and then you come across the pizza place. That's the only way to get there. It's literally tucked away.
And if you haven't seen our video yet about our intro to how to get around Scarlet Lady, you might want to check that out after this video.
And I think the other thing that put me down a little bit on it is, compared to some of the other pizza places on cruises that I've been to, I felt the selection was lacking. They had interesting options like the truffle oil, the white pizza, the egg on the pizza. but some of the other, I don't even want to say traditional, they just didn't feel like they had a lot of options for the pizzas.
I'm not sure I agree with that. I mean, like, they didn't have, like when we went on Carnival, we added the arugula to the pizza. So they didn't have, like, something like that. But, I mean, they had the pepperoni, they had the egg, they had the mozzarella, they had all of, like, what I would consider traditional toppings. And then, like, the truffle and the pesto as kind of non-traditional topping.
But when I look at the list, okay, there's pepperoni as a traditional topping. There's chicken as a traditional topping. There's no sausage.
Chicken is not a traditional topping.
There's no sausage. There's no regular onions. There's no peppers.
Yeah, but they have red onions. It's not like a whole, like, salad bar of vegetables and stuff.
I guess the thing is, to me, it didn't feel like a reliable place to go if you actually want pizza. If you want something specific, like if you want to try something, it's a great place to try a pizza. But I don't want to say supreme pizza.
Yeah, but so in that regards, yes. Like, a Royal Caribbean ship is going to have, like, 3 traditional type pizzas. They're going to have, like, a veggie. They're going to have a supreme. And then they'll have, like, a basic cheese or a pepperoni. So, yes, in that regards. But 5 choices of pizza, I feel like it's similar to a regular pizza place.
I don't know. It feels like, to me, like the white truffle and egg, to me, was no different than Pretty Fly from a white guy. Just with red sauce.
Well,
and an egg.
Me personally, I like my pizza with the white sauce, and I definitely don't like an egg, so they are not similar at all for me. For you, maybe, but not for me.
Stop. Big Will from a year ago. I'm here to tell you, you were wrong. So I was listening to our old take, and I feel I've had a complete 180 since I revisited. When I went last time, I got the pizza with egg on it, and I like eggs, but it just didn't do it for me. And I feel like I may have had like something else, or a slice of her pizza, and it just didn't quite do it for me. However, we went back again this time, and they did have arugula. Big deal for me. It's actually they have a vegan pizza, and they use the arugula for the vegan pizza, but you can request it on any pizza that you want. So I went ahead and got that on a Pretty Fly for a white guy with a little bit of truffle oil, because I like my wife's truffle oil idea on the Pretty Fly for a white guy. And chef's kiss. It was delicious. The crust was great, and something that I want to make sure it gets said, the staff there was wonderful. They were friendly, they were nice, they were helpful. The camera that I was using, the Pocket 2, the case for it fell, and if you have a Pocket 2, you know that there's some little things inside that can pop out that you use for connecting it to your phone, and someone instantly jumped up to try and help me find the pieces without even knowing what was going on. So super friendly staff as well. But I feel a complete 180 from how it may sound in this clip. I actually really, really like the pizza place. One other thing that wasn't mentioned, and I don't know if this is something that has changed, on Virgin right now, the last night of the cruise, room service didn't work. 2 cruises back to back, room service did not work. The only place that you could get food at like 12 to 2 in the morning was either go up to the Galley for breakfast or go to the pizza place for pizza. So it became a lifesaver at the end of the cruise if you had a late night packing or a late night partying. I know some of us hit the manor for that last night and partied hard, but you still need something to eat after you use all the energy dancing. So pizza place, definitely worth going to. Is it my number 1 pizza place on the sea? I don't know. I have to think a little bit about that. Carnival had it, but we're going on Carnival in a little bit, so come back soon and we'll let you know which one is the best pizza place on the seas. That's what's missing from the pizza place.
What?
Pineapple on the pizza.
I would definitely recommend doing room service. Plan on doing it multiple times. Room service here costs $5 for delivery. If you are a rock star, you do not have to pay that delivery charge. So if you are a rock star, I definitely take advantage of not having to pay that.
One time we did tip too.
I would say yes. One thing that I would say about the room service is that all of it comes really hot. So we got breakfast one morning. We got tea and milk, and the containers that they put them in were the exact same to keep them cold and hot. And I couldn't distinguish which one was which on the outside, and both things were cold and hot. The way that it comes, hopefully you can see some pictures. I don't know if we have pictures of it, but hopefully you can see some pictures of like how it comes bag. And then it has like a component you take out, and then it has cups and things in it, and then plates that stack on top of each other. And again, you try room service at least one time. Food was good. I really enjoyed the Nutella French toast that I had one of the mornings. It was actually the best breakfast that I actually probably had on the ship was from room service. And then also there were some other things that like I asked for that we didn't end up ever getting, which was like chocolate covered pretzels, which is part of their snack items. They
were out of a large number of their snacks and drinks too.
And
the prepackaged drinks.
And keep in mind, we were on this trip during the pandemic, so this could be a supply chain thing that was causing some of these issues. But I guess one thing that disappointed me is they like didn't call and tell me that, or when I made the order, they didn't say anything about it. So that was the only disappointment that I had. Everything else I think was really good. And one way you can save yourself that $5 is actually to purchase something that costs $5. So if you purchase, orange juice, like the fresh squeezed orange juice, or one of the drinks. The first time we did it, we were in the Sea Terrace room, and we actually ordered like one of the like pre-made drinks to go along so that we didn't have to pay that $5. We just paid for that drink. So that is another way for you to kind of not have to pay that particular charge for the delivery itself.
If you know me, and you guys hopefully will get to know me, I'm a early bird and a night owl. So there were several nights where she was ready to pack it up, call it a night, and I'm still up. And so one of the biggest surprises on all of Virgin Voyage that no one seems to have talked about is actually the movie package. They had tons of stuff to watch in the room. So when she would get ready for bed, I'd queue up a movie. And I watched Wonder Woman 84 while she was asleep. I watched Ocean's 11 while she was asleep. We watched The Hitman's Bodyguard 1 and 2, which had just come out.
And we also watched...
In the Heights.
In the Heights, yeah.
So when you want to watch a movie, we decided to get room service. So I got a lot of room service because of that. Because it would be 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was just an easy thing to do. Just flip out your phone, doop, 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 doop. Done. Send it. I actually got real accustomed to getting the meatballs and the ragu, and I'd actually just mix them together. Of all the things on the cruise, that's the one item I can actually still taste in my mouth. I still taste the room service. It was pretty good room service. It was usually hot. Usually didn't take too long to get to you. My biggest issue with room service was, as she mentioned, sometimes they just didn't have stuff, and there's no system in place right now for them to communicate with you. Unless they're just going to call, and I can see them not wanting to call us at 1 o'clock in the morning necessarily.
Maybe, I guess, because I was sleeping.
Yeah, because you're asleep, and I'm the one that's up watching Ocean's 11 on the low, like, I know what's going to happen here. He backflipped onto the bank of, So I could definitely understand why they didn't necessarily want to flat out call.
One other thing that I actually enjoyed doing was actually getting multiple drinks. So like I would order like 3 Cokes or something like that, and because they're in cans, I would just be able to put those in the fridge, and then when I wanted to drink later on during the day, I could just get one out of the fridge.
So room service, it is definitely worth looking at. Don't just disregard it. Don't see, oh, there's a $5 charge with it. Go ahead and do it when you're thinking about doing it. It's not like it's multiple dollars for multiple items. It's just a flat fee. It's a delivery fee essentially. And the quality is good. Not great. The steak you get is not going to rival pink agave, but definitely give it a chance. But when you have a port day, if you plan on getting off the ship early on, it's a great way of not having to deal with everybody who's trying to get off the ship early by going to the galley. Just pay for room service. It's worth it. Guess what? We're back from the future one more again. So this time we're going to talk about the Sun Club. We actually missed it entirely on our first visit on the Scarlet Lady, so we made sure to pay it a visit this time. So there are 3 different types of bowls. There's the tuna bowl, which to me was the closest to a standard poke bowl that you may pick up somewhere. I
would agree with that. That's the one that I liked the best. I didn't like the tuna as much, though. I just don't think I'm a big tuna fan. I would rather have had it with salmon. It wasn't the texture, it was the flavor.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I like tuna sushi in general. Okay. I prefer salmon.
Okay. That one had like corn and some other stuff. It's still not traditional, but it's definitely the closest to what you think of when you think of a poke bowl.
It had like sriracha mayo and I think pineapple, and then like those crispy onion
that you see
things.
on sushi.
Yeah.
We got all 3 just to try them out for you guys. Not for us. No, we weren't that hungry. It was just for you guys. There's the salmon one, which was interesting. I really liked the flavoring of it. It was paired with black and white rice, really just black rice. It looked like wild rice, and it had a texture similar to wild rice. It had a bit more chew and body to the rice. It didn't remind me of a poke bowl, but I really liked the flavoring of it. The salmon they gave you a good amount of salmon. I'm not complaining about that. It was just cubed really small. And then the third one, her and I sort of go back and forth on, is the chicken 5 spice. It's a poke bowl, but not really. It's got chicken in it, pickled shiitake mushrooms, which is what got me interested, because I was just curious what a pickled mushroom tastes like. It sort of explodes in your mouth almost. If you like pickled stuff, I highly recommend trying those mushrooms. I don't like pickled stuff, so it was sort of for me. She didn't really like it. They actually had sambal on the 5 spice chicken. I think that's where a lot of the flavor and heat came from, and I really liked the sambal that they used. So those were the three main things they had there that we tried. They do have snacks there that we missed. And that sounds like an excuse for us to go again.
Yeah, of course. But the other thing that I want to mention here is this is right next to Richard's Rooftop. And we found out that Richard Rooftop actually serves snacks. I have no idea when it happens, because when we were up there, it wasn't happening. But I think that the Sun Cafe is actually the one that serves those snacks. So I think they have similar snacks. So that is something else that I guess we have to go back as a rock star in order to take advantage of.
Like a rock star party. I'm sorry. So back to past selves. So does pineapple belong on pizza? I think it does, and I'm always right, so,
I like pineapple, chicken, and barbecue sauce on pizza.
So if you disagree, comment below. If you agree, comment below. Otherwise, if you have other questions about any of the food on Virgin Voyage, please let us know. We did try and cover most of our experience on board. We were very honest about it. Frankly, if there's anything that you feel we missed or something that you may have a question about, please feel free to ask. We went a while ago, so there may be a few things that we did forget about. Any questions you have, we'd love to respond. If you liked what we talked about, hit that like button. If you didn't like, hit that like button. We like both of them.